Spenny, remember that one time that a pipe bomber took a leisurely stroll all around Capitol Hill carrying a bag of bombs? And in spite of the fact that Capitol Hill is a surveillance fortress, had zero matches on their skin color, eyes, face, no facial recognition software could ever be used, in spite of the fact that the pipe bomber is on their phone constantly, couldn't get any cell phone pings. Cell phone pings are used to solve crimes all the time, by the way. An enormous amount of crimes are solved because the criminal had a phone on them. You can see the pipe bomber here on their phone. Never got anything from that. Strange, right? You'd think the tech would be up to date on Capitol Hill. What about DNA evidence? I mean, look at all of the surfaces that the bomber is touching. You can get DNA evidence from a fleck of skin, a piece of hair, even the moisture in your breath. So the pipe bomber left zero DNA evidence in spite of being all over multiple surfaces for multiple minutes on end. No DNA left on the bombs. These bombs must have been made inside of a very sophisticated laboratory. Oh, and by the way, these bombs have been all but proven completely and totally inoperable. They're not really real. How could a bomb that was set the night before have a 60-minute kitchen timer and be operable and be ready to go off? That doesn't make any sense. They were just about to go off. The authorities tell us, no, they weren't. It seems like the authorities actually manipulated an enormous amount of the footage here, sometimes even blurring the footage so that you couldn't get a proper eye color or skin color on the pipe bomber. And then, of course, the biggest tell, when the pipe bombs were found, the Secret Service didn't even care. They were like, oh, those are fake. Or they're all just part of the plan. And that was the plan, I guess, to bring Capitol Hill resources away from the Capitol so that President Trump supporters could be framed on January 6th to instigate panic and say that there are bombings going on around D.C. when the bombs aren't even real, and so on and so forth. And so it bothers us to this day, and this bothers us too. I mean, quite frankly. Pam Bondi is apparently getting fired today. We'll see if that happens, but these press conferences that they announced that they had found the pipe bomber, and it was a cold case that languished for 4 years. Who did they announce as the pipe bomber? Well, CNN announced that it was a white guy. It was a black guy, like a black autistic guy, living in a really nice house, in Virginia, in the suburbs. So what's that about? Who's the white black guy? This is funny because Jake Tapper says it's a white man who was caught. No, they say it's a black guy. But here's my problem with this, is that nobody's ever taken the time to explain the motive here. Like, what the hell happened? What's going on? Like, why did this autistic, closeted weirdo black kid living, the life in the suburbs in a mansion, living in a mansion, why did he decide to engage in one of the single most sophisticated operations in American history? Listen, it's totally sophisticated if you think about it. To in a modern day, in this modern day and age, avoid all facial recognition, avoid the ability for people to tell what your skin color is, if you're white or black, what your eye color is, to fully mask who you are when walking through the security state. And then most importantly, to have nobody be able to track your cell phone, nobody be able to track any of your DNA when you're on your phone constantly. Oh, by the way, who was Brian Cole Jr., the person they say was the pipe bomber? Who was he on the phone with? Can we figure that out? Who was he calling? Was he getting orders from somebody if he is in fact the pipe bomber? To leave zero DNA evidence is truly almost scientifically implausible, at this point. You see the pipe bomber wandering the streets. You see the pipe bomber sitting on the bench, rubbing the bench, sitting on the bench for a long time. You know, there's like a lot of footage of this. It's been, of course, degraded by the federal authorities. It's been dumbed down. It's been manipulated. Why would they manipulate it? Well, to protect the pipe bomber, obviously. I'm saying none of it makes sense. That's all I'm saying. And this don't make no sense either. Okay? And I'm sorry. I'm the kind of like guy that says, show your work. And they haven't showed their work. Nobody's explained why Brian Cole, this 30-year-old, goofball, was planting pipe bombs and was able to pull off the most sophisticated op in history against our federal government to hide from the authorities for 4 straight years. The FBI said that all the evidence was sitting just right there to arrest Brian Cole. Before Brian Cole Jr. was announced as the pipe bomber and that he had been arrested, this story was published in The Blaze, saying that there was a forensic match for a member of the Capitol Hill police force. This was, of course, disputed afterward, and The Blaze had to eventually write a correction. And they had to, effectively take down their report. Nonetheless, there's been some fascinating and new information that has now reignited this conversation online. An innocent woman's name was tied to the January 6th pipe bomb. CBS News here reporting that an innocent woman who was named, she was a Capitol Hill police officer. Now she works at the CIA, because of course. And that this is who the Blaze speculated was the actual pipe bomber. Well, that's quite a huge bombshell that a Capitol Hill police officer was in on this and that she works at the CIA. Well, boy, that would stand to reason. Anyway, they took the article down. It was refuted, whatever, by the federal authorities. And now this breaks. Look at this. Former Capitol Hill police officer Shawnee Kirchhoff failed a FBI polygraph test when asked if she placed the pipe bombs on January 5th, 2021, the court case states. Shawnee Kirchhoff was named as the person of interest. Pipe bomb investigation. Kirchhoff was a U.S. Capitol police officer. She was present at the Capitol on that date. Kirchhoff now works for the Central Intelligence Agency because, of course, according to the discovery produced by the government in the case, the FBI began investigating, questioning, and covertly surveilling Ms. Kirchhoff during the time it began investigating Mr. Cole. Kirchhoff was interviewed by the FBI and took polygraph examinations. She was asked relevant questions like, did you place the pipe bomb? Did you place the pipe bombs that evening? And she failed her polygraph. The FBI polygraph examiner noted that Kirchhoff's very controlled reaction to the news of her failing the polygraph. Okay. All right. Former Capitol Hill police officer, current CIA employee Kirchhoff, and a person of interest, failed the lie detector test before the famous Blaze article was published. This looks like defamation suits. FBI Dan Bongino told me he would personally finance against me are a bust. Oh boy. So Thomas Massie coming over the top. Dan Bongino now fighting with Thomas Massie. You're a sitting U.S. representative, Tom. Please try to preserve a sliver of dignity. There's an ongoing criminal trial case, and the individual in this case is a U.S. citizen entitled to due process. Your relentless bloviating and absurd public commentary, ongoing very serious criminal matter, which you know little to nothing about, is beneath the office you hold. Okay, but what I'm trying to say here is that you have to be able to make your case. Like, this is the thing that I follow this really closely. Nobody's explained any motive or anything. Like, right? Like, nobody's explained any motive. Nobody's like done anything to like explain to the public that like you have the right guy here. That's all I'm asking for. All right. I'm not saying I know. I don't have the files. I don't have the information. Okay. I'm not trying to defame people or harm anyone, but like, well, you got to be able to make the case. This is public opinion here. 6 days after she failed the FBI lie detector, you told me on the phone that you would finance civil defamation cases on her behalf. It's very inappropriate for an FBI deputy director. Perhaps at that point, the FBI hadn't even told you, the deputy director, that she had failed the polygraph, says Thomas Massie. Uh-oh. Oh, boy. Thomas Massie has all the tough guys in his corner. Oh, boy. So this has now started sort of a war between Thomas Massie and Dan Bongino. Thomas Massie is a liar, grifter, and fraud. Thanks. Have a good morning. You know, and I don't really like the whole like flamethrower stuff here. But obviously I would really like to see all of the evidence laid out, please. Thomas Massie is a fraud. Thank you. Have a great day. Obviously, Bongino's posted a lot about Thomas Massie, including screenshots and stuff. People are saying these the screenshots recycle the same November 2025 call logs. They show contact occurred, but did not refute the J6 pipe bomb whistleblower letter mishandling retaliation or Massie's staff threat claims. Bongino left the FBI in 2026. So they're going like sort of after each other here. Thomas Massie and Dan Bongino sort of racking up some views on this, but it's, you know, getting kind of ugly. Dan, in your first call, on which I think was the first and last occasion that you and I ever spoke, you seemed upset that I had received and had released FBI whistleblower information about the pipe bomb investigation. I informed you that your staff threatened to had threatened to criminally investigate my staff as retribution. Yikes. You threatened to personally finance the defamation suit against reporters on behalf of the suspect. Perhaps it was also a veiled threat to sue me. You said those depositions aren't going to be fun for the people involved or something like that. Deputy FBI director shouldn't be financing civil lawsuits against reporters. You said that you were going to call every agent and get to the bottom of the whistleblower issue, and you offered me a briefing, but I was going to be tied up until 6 p.m. on the Epstein Files Transparency Act, so I asked, how late could the briefing go? And you said you were going to leave the office at 5 o'clock. I asked a few questions on the call, and your answers indicated to me that you were perhaps less informed than me on some of the issues, and you were going to be less than forthcoming. A few hours after the call, I received and released new FBI whistleblower information regarding an all-hands meeting related to the concern that the meeting was called to out the whistleblowers. Okay. What's going on with the timestamps? People are saying that Dan Bongino's phone was set to Israel's time zone. Okay. Again, so now Thomas Massie is joking about the ratios. Here, Steve Baker is the original author of the report. To all those who have criticized the attack on me for the last 5 months, I forgive you. I do not forgive Dan Bongino and Kash Patel. I demand Patel's dismissal immediately. Lots more to come. So it sounds like there is going to be more to come on this. I want to like make it very clear. I'm not trying to like stoke the fires here. I have done a lot of reads, like, and covered a lot of stories, and, you know, yelled until my voice cracked on this show about the pipe bomber. So like you deserve, on this channel, you deserve to know the truth about what happened. And do we have the truth? I don't know. I want it. But we seem to now be getting like very different stories. Is there any explanation as to why this Capitol Police officer, current CIA employee, is failing polygraphs about these simple questions? Either planted the pipe bombs or you didn't. Is there any explanation as to who the hell this guy is? And why would he plant pipe bombs? Anything? Nothing? I don't know. I just like, it's a lot of, it's like with a lot of things, you know, you need to verify the stuff and then trust, right? And it's not trust, but verify. It's verify, then trust, right? You have to show your work. The like, trust me, bro, move along stuff doesn't work anymore. We have to be convinced that you have the right guy for the pipe bomb, but we're just not convinced. The story makes no sense is all I'm saying. So maybe tell your stories better. Give us more evidence. Give us more, right? The American people are smart. We're very forgiving. It's obviously the way to do it. Anyway, it's been maddening. This whole thing's been maddening. It's been rage-inducing, honestly. Just like the Epstein files. But we'll keep going. It's your boy Benny. Like, share, and subscribe. See ya. Truth is out there.